if we know that at the root of why your diet's working for people, it's bringing the insulin down, we go carnivore, we're going to bring that down even more. We start intermittent fasting, we're going to bring that down even more. Why wouldn't we use that as an adjunct with your diet to tighten up that eating window, to keep the insulin low for a longer period of time? And to me, there's just so many upsides where the fact that you're having to think about food less, and you get a cognitive boost. At least I've experienced that when I'm fasting, and the benefits go on and on. So I'm just curious why that's not something you advocate for.
Well, again, I'm waiting for clinical trial research that looks at in a controlled way. So if you just follow people without a control group, you're not going to really have a great. It's not proof that it was really that what you did is what the effect people saw. Often you can see what you want to see. But I think the new basic science and theory about autophagy, so your body basically cleaning itself up when you aren't adding in outside food, and eating is a stress, that you're able to clean itself up is not yet translated into clinical research to know if it's additive to just keeping the carbs low. So that's my kind of perspective. I have a certain idea of what can happen when people don't eat many carbs. And I teach eat when you're hungry, but if you're not hungry, you don't have to eat. So some people just kind of automatically do intermittent fasting, eat one meal a day or thereabouts. So they're just naturally cutting out that and getting that time window. Others seem to need to eat more frequently. And if I told people they had to intermittent fast, I would lose those people. So there's a difference in the clinical population giving a flexible approach than finding what works for you. So if you're not hungry, I don't think you have to eat much. But at the other extreme, if you're not aware of when you're eating too little that you're not performing, your body is eating its own lean muscle mass, that's going too far. So you want to be measuring as you go. It seems to me you want to eat as little as you need to help you do whatever you want. And that there's a wide range of doing that. So I think intermittent fasting in some cases is fine. Although the NIH group that studies intermittent fasting gives people carbs once a day. I'm like, okay, in the context of a low carb diet, intermittent fasting is fine. But if I don't like the idea of you struggling all day to not eat, which is a stress, and then eating carbs once a day, you're turning off the fat burning and going into the carb burning mode. And of course, at the end of the day, if you kept the calories under what under what you were burning, you're going to be losing fat off your body. Of course, the equation doesn't line up perfectly. We know sugar calories have different hormonal effects than fat and protein calories, but the calories do matter. I mean, so you could eat there was a program in Durham called the rice diet, where you ate rice, fruit, and fish. It was almost all carbs, just a little bit of protein. They got in trouble from the diet police because they didn't have enough protein to get up to the guidelines. But people lost a lot of weight because it was about 800 calories per day. And for just about everyone, that's going to mean you draw upon your body fat. But then there were books written about how people came to the rice diet in Durham and then they ate off plan at the Domino's Pizza once a week to, just kind of flagrantly cheat on the programming. So it was kind of a social thing to do at the time. But there is no rice diet program anymore in Durham. There is, I always like to mention, if you're struggling so much that you would say, you need to lock me up. Or, there are voluntary places, including one in Durham, where they won't lock you up, but you can voluntarily come stay on the premises, learn to eat in a lower carb, lower calorie way. And those places do exist, but they're not inexpensive.
If you enjoyed that clip, press here for the full episode. I'll see you over there.
I've had people, even if they've been on insulin for 20 years, get off the insulin in as little as 8 weeks. The weight loss happens about 1 to 2 pounds per week. My philosophy is to get it to work the first time.